Okay, this is a Centipede board that I'm going to be testing with the FPGA Cat Box, which is underneath here. And I know that it's already missing a ROM, but we're just going to go ahead and see what the heck it does without the ROM. Power it up, and we get a white screen. Okay, next step is going to be hooking up the Cat Box and doing some tests. Okay, we got the Cat Box hooked up on the CPU. You can see this is CPU pin 1 there. It's in a ZIF socket, which I put in the other socket. And then I have this probe here, which is the start. I'm just using the grounding, which is just connected over here, just for the ground. And then I'll be using the other probe later, this one, for testing doing signature analysis testing. But the first thing I want to do with this is test it with the RAM and ROM tests. So let's go ahead and power the board up. Okay, it's still a white screen. Then over here on the software, let's go ahead and close that and get that more centered. Okay, so the first thing, I've already connected to the device. It shows me the frequency of the clock, which is pretty close. Then we have, and I'm connected to the FPGA tester already, and I've already loaded the configuration. Where was that? And it shows down there at the bottom that it's a Centipede configuration. That's right, it's changed. So you just do load config and then it loads it. Okay, so then the first thing I want to do is I want to come over to the ROM test. And I want to make sure, by default, it's set to compare to file. But I don't want to set up a bunch of files, so I just tell it CRC32. And then I go ahead and click Start ROM Test. And see that the first one is bad. That's probably because I'm missing it. Okay, so then we're going to go over to RAM test. And it normally defaults to random. And then you click test. And both my RAMs passed. So now I'm going to go ahead and burn a new EEPROM for that spot and put it in, and we'll do the ROM test again. Okay, new EEPROM put in for D1. Power the board back up here. And then we're going to go ahead and run the ROM test again. And we have all good ROMs. Okay. So now we're going to turn the FPGA tester off, put a CPU in, and see what it does. Okay, we've got the CPU back in. It's a nice reason to have a ZIF socket there so we can test it. And let's go ahead and fire it up and see what we get. Look at that, Centipede. And we have another working Centipede.